and you guys have never changed your methods to one that makes money. You've never done that.
No.
You guys have always spent to give, and I think, Jeff, because
Are we live?
We are now.
We're live.
I think that for
Matt's channel.
I think that for you, brother, is that it's hilarious. I love you, man. I love you. But I think one of the things you do, which is so funny, is that to justify, because you spend so much and given so much that you're at a negative, to justify that negative, you go, I spend to get. Like you spend to invest and get something to return.
This is what you tell your family.
Yeah, this is like to justify what you're doing, but I think at the core of it, like fuck all that bullshit. You know as well as I do that you're not spending to get because everything you do is giving, and you're just hoping that down the road, hopefully you're not going to be in a shithole as a result of it. You know what I mean? But I don't think your model is like I spend to give, because if that was the case, guys, go look at their trends, right? Look at anything that's become a fad. Do they follow that fad? Not at all. When something becomes hot, whether it's selling programs or whatever, you do not see you guys transition to that.
Just not us.
You just stick to what you're doing and you give value. But the thing is, people who are chasing that, I'll give to return, follow those fads and those trends, and they kind of just move with the waves, right? Where they go like, oh yeah, this is what people are interested in now, so this is what I'll do. So because maybe if I give this, I'll get a return. You guys have never shifted that. I think that when you, for those of the viewers that are out there, I think when you start spending a lot of money, you're negative, right? Because you've given so much that to justify to yourself, your family, your wife, especially your woman and your kid, is that you justify like I'm doing this because down the road it's going to return. But deep down, is that really why you're doing it? Because if it was, you'd just be chasing that profit, man. And you're not. You know. It's real. I hate to
Mic drop.
I hate to pierce the bubble, man, but like you just don't like.
No, I'm going to Windsor for a podcast. It's gonna make money somehow.
Yeah, this isn't gonna make money, guys. Let's get real, guys. Just so everyone's clear, ask my wife. I have a negative cash flow. I have a budget put away for this just to give back. But like, I mean, that's real.
But there could be the one viewer out there that's gonna not make us money, but make us money together, maybe, right?
Maybe,
joint venture with this.
See, pipe dream though, man.
Well, I know I'm trying to justify everything we do.
Yeah, you have to justify. Like, listen, when I go to home, this isn't real. When I go home to my wife and I say, "How about you spend 10 grand on this?" I gotta be because it's probably gonna make 11. But yeah, it's just like I have to give that explanation.
So there could be one listener that makes you 100,000, and
yeah,
the podcast made you 0 from. This is my YouTube channel. YouTube owes me. YouTube, you owe me $35 right now. Yet the actual connections are insane compared to what YouTube pays me.
But you see so many people out there. And like I said, I'm not gonna mention names on the podcast or the video, but we've talked about it.
We're live on YouTube right now.
I'm just being super careful. But there's people that just follow those trends and chase that dollar. And guys, if you ever want to know if someone's chasing the dollar or not, just follow the method, man. I was doing student rentals before people even knew about student rentals. And I'm telling you now, I'm telling you the negatives about it. And like it just, are you doing it for the money or are you doing it to help people? And I think that if you really want to break it down and you research people and look at their patterns, it's easy to identify. And you know, I'm not the smartest guy, but I don't think I'm a stupid guy. And I did my research on you guys, man. And you guys don't chase that dollar. And that's
appreciate that.
That's one, you know, why I like it so much. Right? You guys don't give yourself enough credit. I think you guys need to just kind of expose that. I'm going to expose you guys for the
give me the credit. Yeah. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah. I think I'm going to expose you guys a little bit as far as like, you know.
Matt and Jeff exposed.
Exposed as far
do
as.
YouTube video.
Yeah, clickbait.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to expose you guys in the sense that like, you know, I don't think you guys really show people how much you give and how little you get in return. Right? And how much of it is really selfless giving and it's not chasing that dollar. Right? And I think that's fucking huge.
I appreciate that. It means a lot to me.
Even from us doing that, I don't see it anywhere else. It's always another angle or something like that. Like,
for sure it is. Give an example. You guys got this wholesaling course, right?
Yeah.
That you guys are doing? Right? Okay, I'm going to tell you right now from experience. You can wholesale a property for a minimum 10 grand profit all day. Okay, it's real profits, right? It's a really good strategy and it works. And it's benefit to everybody. Everybody wins. If you get someone in the market that's 10 grand on the market, who cares what the other person got it for? You're still getting something 10 grand on the market. What's your course? What's the price tag on the course?
300.
300?
300 with a coupon.
I know another course right now that's selling right now for 10 G's.
because they'll say you can make
if you take that 300 course, how many people can come down and meet you, Matt? Probably everybody, right?
Yeah, and they all get like a phone call with us. And like, so it's 2 phone calls, one with me, one with Adam, one with Dylan.
And it's real.
But yeah, well, it's really awesome actually. So we've got 2 guys now that are.
And just so we're clear, like these guys are giving you their like when you come to a like a lot of people have been asking us that, and I'm seeing the other side of it. And a lot of people ask me for like my JV agreements and stuff like that. Guys, just so you know, go talk to your lawyer. Tell them you want to structure a JV agreement and you want to do anything like that. Go get the price tag on that, man.
Yeah.
For me, it costs $2,500.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
just to
that's
get that document drawn up, and every time I sit down with my lawyer, it's like another $300-400. Right. And that's every time I want to change the agreement. So if you guys are bringing a second partner or whatever, you're changing the deals, man, I gotta sit down with my lawyer and change that up. There's costs associated with that, and these guys are giving all these documents to you for fucking $300. I don't even know if that's cost. To be real, like I don't even think that's cost.
And then, so I have my realtor course, like helping these guys out, and then.
And you're creating, and then I don't mean to interrupt, but the other thing you're doing is you're creating competitors. Whether you guys want to admit it or not, man. Like if I tell you,
it isn't because like you have self-help books and chapters. How to be a better businessman.
Yeah, but you guys are doing market-specific shit. You guys are saying, hey, look, this is what we do in London. So I think if I take your course, I can go and compete with you guys in London. I'm doing exactly what you're doing. And you're creating competitors. Where at the end of the day, you know, those could be clients. And you're converting clients to competitors. And I know you guys are. And you guys should realize this too, is that that's what you guys are doing. There's no secrets to where you guys invest and what you guys do. And you guys are giving that out. And, you know, really, like, you probably put in at least, I know for a fact, when we do the videos, when you guys come down, there's hours and hours of editing you guys put in. You guys put in full days of work. And, what's it, what, like $300? What is that? If that's a 6-hour shift, that's $50 an hour, right? You pay your lawyer $120. Like, I'm just saying, like, the stuff that you guys are doing for people is insane. And that's, just follow the trends, man. Compare it. It's not about the money. I think you guys are just trying to cover expenses, right? Vegas, I'll say it again, I said it before. You guys, I'm gonna expose you guys on this so hard, man. Like, this is a $100,000 expense. Guys, there's 60 rooms, it's $1,300 a room. Go figure out how much that costs, right? Who's breaking even, who's losing money? These guys are putting this on for you. They're just trying to not, you know, be broke out of it, and like they still got a place to stay.
That's the goal.
And
come on, there's gold at the end of the rainbow somewhere.
See what I'm saying? But you guys listen to Jeff and you think there's gold. There is no gold, bro. There's no gold. There's a small negative, right, versus a big one, and people need to know that.
Appreciate that. Yeah. And speaking of gold, let's jump into the podcast.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
So, welcome to episode number 2 of the Hold My Beer podcast. I'm here with John and Jeff. Jeff's just listening to an Instagram story.
No, your YouTube.
Okay, appreciate the extra view.
YouTube on YouTube, it's just like ridiculous.
And yeah, so if you guys haven't listened to episode number 1, if you maybe didn't catch it on the Instagram live that we did, the whole idea here is hold my beer. And so the concept behind that is for a lot of entrepreneurs, for a lot of disruptors, for a lot of wannabe influencers or actual influencers, at some point in your life, there's going to come a point, a fork in the road, where you're going to have to make a decision to tell people to hold your beer. And what I mean by that essentially is people are going to tell you you're crazy, that it's too big of a risk, that it can't be done, that you shouldn't do it, that it's a waste of time, that you specifically can't do it. And there comes a moment where you just literally have to ask someone to hold your beer so that you can go do it, so that you can prove to yourself, prove to those other people that yes, you are capable of this. And that's what the whole idea of this podcast is going to be about. It's going to be about us sharing our stories, us interviewing other people, and just kind of hopefully paying it forward. The idea of helping you guys hopefully through just hearing our stories, hearing the stories of our guests, and learning that, like we talked about in episode number 1, don't wait for permission, just start taking action. Jeff's motto of ready, shoot, aim, all that great stuff. So that's the goal behind this podcast, so let's just get into it. So, episode number 2.
So, 2, yes.
We're going to talk about just some of the things that society trips us up on, some of the things that maybe your family trips you up on. There's a lot of, there's a lot of landmines when it comes to navigating an entrepreneurial endeavor, an influence endeavor, or just trying to be a disruptor in whatever field it is that you are. So, anyone want to jump in with one of their favorite
You're just saying like family
It's the biggest barrier.
buying your first property. Maybe we can all touch on that potentially.
Yeah.
Yes.
What the family thought.
Yeah, so I'm
happy
happy
to say hold my beer.
Yeah, I'm happy to dive in with mine. So
Sure.
my first investment property was a student rental, and yeah, I had essentially right. I thought it was. I did the cash flow projections. They looked fantastic. There's a lot of other people that seem to be doing student rentals. The few of them that I anecdotally met seem to be doing well financially. So then I decided I was going to buy one. And not only that, I roped two of my best friends into buying it with me. So we were each 1/3 partners on it. And pretty much right from the start, people just thought that we were crazy. I remember I was really excited, and I'm more of a lurker on internet forums than an active poster, and definitely back then. So I hopped onto the Canadian Money forums, amazing forum if you guys are looking for Canadian-specific investing advice. But they're a little bit bearish when it comes to real estate. So I posted just a big wordy post on there, essentially laying out kind of the cash flow projections, the prices, all that, the cash on cash, the ROI. And the first person to respond said, "Who told you to buy a student rental? You should immediately go kick them in the balls."
Wow.
And I was just like, and at the same time, like, I'm relatively young. It's first property I bought, and
You're like, fuck.
panic immediately sank in because I was like, shit. That means my two buddies should be kicking me in the balls right now. I just talked them into wasting their money. I can't believe I did this. Oh my God, what have I done? This is insane. And now, essentially, like John talked about in episode number 1, I was like, fuck, no matter what, I'm going to have to make them whole again. Jesus, I just dug myself a bigger hole.
And how many posts did this avatar have that was
Yes.
indeed?
Yeah, so
You
and
don't
that,
even look at that shit. You just read
Well,
that.
back then you were
Yeah.
like,
You're like, fuck me, bro.
Right.
Shit, the
Especially
internet
if you
told me-
well, because
not
my
to do this.
parents had told me I was crazy, all my CPA friends that were on
Random
focused
guy
on
in the
partner
basement.
track, just
Yeah.
everyone, even the realtors that were showing me properties kept telling me what a hassle student rentals were, and
Crazy.
it's just crazy because when I actually look back now with hindsight, with perspective, I can see that not a single person that told me it was a bad idea.
Was qualified to tell you.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and so I think that for
that's
me
a hold my beer moment.
is one of the,
Well, hold on. Let's see. Like, not that qualified as in like you need a qualification, but as far as like they had no experience, they had no
Exactly.
business doing. They were just fucking blabbing.
they'd
their opinion.
never owned a rental property. They'd never
These
owned a
shit
student
stories,
rental.
right? Yeah.
They'd heard stories about someone's aunt or uncle, that had accidentally become a landlord, and it turned into this crazy nightmare, and they had to go unclog that toilet at
So
2
many missing
a.m.
components
Holes in the
of
walls, whatever
Yeah.
that is.
And then it turns out that drywall's really cheap, and patching drywall is a relatively cheap
Whoa,
thing.
whoa,
Not John's drywall.
Yeah.
Patching drywall.
Yeah,
maybe.
patching. But no, you're totally right, man. I think that's
Yeah.
huge.
So yeah, that's one of the common pieces of advice I seem to have bumped up against multiple times in my real estate investing
Have you guys
career.
ever been like guilty? I know for myself, I've caught myself of being guilty of being that negative guy. I hate to say it, but I have. Like I remember, kudos to my my stepsister. She approached me about investing and doing stuff, and I just told her negative shit. And I regret it. If you're listening, I'm sorry. I told her like, don't do it. Like this is the wrong way. It takes a lot of work. And I probably should just be more positive about it. But at the end of the day, like I think. Thank God she's just stubborn. She's and it worked out for her. But I think like sometimes people just are afraid to give credibility when just it's easier to be negative than it is positive.
Well,
It's so much easier. to say.
especially your family's going to be naturally risk adverse towards you, right? They want you to take the safe path
If we
because
think about it like this way, what's worse? If you tell someone you can't do something and they can't do it, you're right. You win.
Mhm.
If you tell someone they can't do it and they do it, you're wrong, but they're successful, so who cares? So but think about the risk of like telling somebody go ahead and do it and then they fail, right? Because that might come back on you. I think it's just a mental block where people it's easier to be negative than it's positive.
Well, and then is there a sense of obligation where if they start to falter or fail,
That
as the
is-
person that gave the advice, do you need to step in then and catch them before they
right.
or break their
And
fall?
you're being positive. I know for sure that's been my problem. I think just like I tell people this, like I even though I disagreed with some of the stuff that my stepsister did, one thing I did say, I was like, look, forget my opinion. If you're confident in it, you just need to execute, right?
Yeah.
Like I might not have the information that you have or the confidence that you have to do it, so don't take my advice? Why are you looking for me for a yes or no? Just if you don't know what
It's so hard though to do something without permission. Like honestly, when I look back throughout my entire life, like even every single success, like if I dig deep enough, I can find that there was a moment where someone, whether literally or figuratively, gave me permission. And like sometimes it's so small, so minute, but you just need that tiny spark to get you started.
I think the change happens. I think when you start not giving a shit about permission. It's like, honestly, man, I'm at that point where people can tell me I'm wild, and I'll just be like, perfect, I'm on the right track. Right? Like, I think it happens. You need a moment in your life where you literally go against the grain, where people tell you go, don't do it, or do it, and you just go the opposite way and it works out. For you to realize that, like, who gives a fuck about what people are thinking, right?
Yeah.
Like their permissions. But until that happens, for me, like we talked about on podcast number 1, my point of transition was like when people told me I couldn't go to university or I couldn't afford it, and I just accepted it and then made it work. That point was a life-changing decision. My whole mentality was like, from that point on, was like, I give zero shits about what your opinion is. If I like, I'm not gonna be reckless, but if I calculate it and I do a calculated risk, I'm gonna go for it no matter what. But that had to happen. Like it had to happen for me to be like, oh yeah, you said I couldn't, and I went and did it anyway, so I had nothing to lose, and it was successful for me to be like, wow, what people think really doesn't fucking matter. And I think that's like a big one.
Yeah, so it's something Jeff talks about a lot with social media, because diving into social media is kind of a scary thing, because you're putting yourself out there, you're going to get judged, and so you wanted to kind of talk about
yeah,
Susie?
Sure. Yeah, okay, so Matt's probably convinced that Susie exists, but I mean, she doesn't exist. And it was this like, so the first time you talk to your phone on the side of the street, being like, great property over here.
Right.
You know, you put yourself out there because that's how society you can do now. Like, what's up Instagram? What's up YouTube? That kind of stuff. Susie, that girl from high school, or whoever.
Oh, I heard the story.
She might. This fictional person.
She's real. I know she's real.
She might judge you, right?
Yeah.
No, but like honestly, I
even Susie's gonna think of what I'm doing.
Name's not Susie, but like a friend of the family, high school person. Dude, do you not feel weird doing all this? And I'm like, do you not feel weird packing your lunch going to work every day? Like, so
don't you feel weird?
I'll talk to my phone here and there to make dollars here and there. So yeah, it's not easy to get on social media, but like. Remember, Instagram doesn't cut me a check, but I make money off of Instagram. So it's like
it's a double return, man. Like it's a return that's not immediate and that's not.
But society, at first, the naysayers without the permission is like, that's stupid. Why are you doing that?
I think that's a mentality that people don't have, man. Like, look,
just go get a job. Why are you on Instagram?
Instant gratification. That's our generation, right? Like you need instant gratification.
There's certain people in our network even. Or no longer in our network, but they thought one post would equal $10,000 and 2 posts on Instagram. It might, but they were expecting it.
It might not even be financially. So, like, I want to make sure we talk about this. It's not always about financial returns, man, but returns. Dude, you know what I mean? Like, when you do stuff, no matter what you do, whether it's negative or not. Listen, going to, like, this is going to be really dark, but going to prison has a positive return, right? Like, maybe you self-meditate, you become a better person. It's just, it's the ability to focus on the positive of what you're getting back out of it, because there's always a return no matter what way you spin it, no matter what you do. There's always a way to create a situation, whatever circumstance you're in, no matter how negative or how bad it might be, there's a way to spin it so there's a positive return for you. And if you focus on that ability to go, hey, instead of looking at what I don't have or what I lost or what someone else has, focus on like, this is what this generated for me in this way, whether financial or not. Everything has a return.
Yeah, and something I just kind of want to build upon there. You said the ability, and I think that that's really important. So I think the moment people give up agency, the moment people no longer believe they're in control of the situation, they've lost. Like it's really difficult to, well, you can take control of your life if your self-narrative is that you're not in control of your life, that you don't have agency. So I think it's really important to, regardless of what situation you're in, to dig as deep as necessary to find the logic or the reason where you are now in control.
Pitch me a bad situation, I'll tell you how it turns out how it can be a positive, right? Like that's been my whole thing. Like it doesn't matter. Honestly, I challenge everyone out there. Put in the comments a shitty situation Anything.
So many
and I'll
people
tell you how you
comment
can turn that into a positive.
angrily on social media and on news articles about how they're only making minimum wage and they don't have a post-secondary education.
Dude, use that to better your skills. Look at the positive. Maybe you make a network or connection in that. Maybe make that guy that works at McDonald's who's going to generate a business that gives you an opportunity. There's so many ways, man. Everything's a positive. If you start looking at it that way, you're gonna you miss so many opportunities in your daily life. I think people don't realize you miss.
Yeah.
And I think that's real. That's a real thing. Right? Every negative can be a positive.
Yeah, but if you're in that victim narrative, it's just so dangerous, and it's so easy now because people are so happy to tell you, oh, don't blame yourself, don't worry about it, don't whatever.
But here's the thing: if you're not victim narrative, and this is important, guys, if you're not victim narrative, where you're always looking at like, oh, this is how I got screwed, or this is how bad the situation is. Whether you're intentionally or not, you are actively ignoring any positives from that. You're only focusing on the negative. So how can you ever benefit from a situation if you're only focusing on that? Like I said, I challenge everyone out there to give me a situation that's a negative. I don't care what it is. I'll turn it into a positive for you. There's never a way that you can't gain from something. There's never. It's impossible. You can always look at a positive and improve. And if you always focus on that, then you're always going up. Right? Like if every bad situation you're identifying what's going to elevate you, then logically your trajectory is up. Right? The problem is when you start focusing on negative, then you're just continuously going to go up. Right? Because you're ignoring all the things that could potentially elevate your situation just by focusing on what's bringing you down. So I think that's something that you guys do very well. For sure. 100%. That's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're great at failing and figuring out how to.
Everybody's winning.
Yeah, it's important to understand that without failure, there's no reason to try and improve.
Man, like there is a comment, like I'm gonna totally bring this up, you're not gonna like it, but like Matt sent me a tag, or no, you put it on your Instagram story. He didn't even text me, he just put it public, where someone commented on your stuff, and it was like fucking shooting a video out of like your basement or
that
whatever.
was my apartment.
Right?
Upper unit, not even basement.
And that, like, man, that's salty as hell. Like, let me tell you, this is a real.
We talked about this.
It ain't out of his parents' basement. You know what I mean? Like Matt and Jennifer both financially quite well off. They don't need to be shooting at anybody's basements other than their own. It's just like it's just ironic that that's what like he had posted, but you made a positive out of it. You actually used that to elevate people's perspective on it. Look, just because people are like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the difference. Well, someone could have just been like, oh man.
It's important to me because I think, unlike a lot of other, fledgling YouTube creators, like you mentioned, I do have that financial safety net behind me. So like.
Engagement's engagement too. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Engagement's engagement.
You want to be positive? Like, hate on me all day.
Haters, comment below.
Like,
please comment.
It means that they cared enough, right? Like, it means that you hit something with them. And while I maybe didn't convert that guy right away, it struck a nerve with him, and maybe at some point in time he'll focus on what that.
Let's address that guy. As a matter of fact, I don't know who the guy was, but if he commented and you found that it was negative value or whatever, look, dude, tell me what you want out of this and what you're looking to get. We'll address it. No. Look, if there's a problem, if there's something you're questioning about what Jeff, Matt, or I are doing, and you've got any doubts, listen. Please tell me what you need from us in order to clarify that doubt.
Matt turned it around so awesome. Like, what if that guy just felt really great about doing that, but he's some crazy person in the real world, but he can be that ass online pretty much, and that saved him doing horrible things out there in the world. Like, you never know. Not just on Matt's channel, but like these people are on the internet elsewhere.
Why don't we turn this guy? Here's my challenge. Let's turn this guy from a villain to a hero. So obviously you did some negative comment, okay?
Yeah.
So look, listen, some people might be hating on you out there. Everyone stop hating on this guy. Better yet than this, okay? This is an opportunity. It's a challenge up to this guy. Come out here, tell us what it is exactly about us that made you doubt this process, that makes you doubt us. What do you need from us in order to justify or give you some kind of clarity or confidence? Or if it's transparency you're looking for, what do you want to see on our end to show you that what we're doing is real? Let's give you that. And you know what? Instead of being a hater, thank you very much for putting that out there. And maybe you're going to clear a lot of questions for a lot of people, and we're going to praise you for it. Because if we put it out there and it helps a bunch of people to identify something that we're not doing, or give you guys more confidence in what we are doing, let's put it out there and let's praise this guy for making that option. So that's a challenge to you. Instead of being, because really, man, I can't. I'm trying to be good here, but like there was really no directions to how we can improve. It was just kind of like leave a comment. Tell us what you want from us. What do you want? Do you want to see our financials? What do you want to do? Do you want to see our investments? You want to see
that wasn't the basement? It was a second
story? Do you want to do a full walkthrough through this place?
Basement has a fireplace.
Yeah. Do you want to do a full walkthrough?
Wealthy people.
You guys want to see a deed of the property? Whatever you need to do to make sure that you know that we're actually being real with you, we'll put it out there. You guys cool with that?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. And thank you very much, because it's probably going to be 100 views out there that's going to make them more confident about it.
Only
if you comment and actually give us a real causation and a real directive as to what you need us to do. That's realistic. Tell me to go fuck myself, that's not a real directive.
Yeah.
Give me a real, actual, like, you know what I mean, something you want us to do, and we'll put it out there. Like, I mean, there's nothing for us to hide, right?
Yeah, and before we move on from this subject matter, I just wanted to really hit home with the idea that because, you know, I'm in the, the lucky situation to have my finances in order, that, you know, it cuts me way less deep than it would someone that, like, maybe just started out that YouTube channel. They're hoping that YouTube channel will lead to not only maybe influence, but also financial success.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I share it on my YouTube, or I share it on my Instagram, or wherever I share these sort of posts, is it's not me asking people to play a violin for me. It's simply, I want to show that, like, listen, even though I consider my little corner of the internet, my YouTube channel, to be one of the nicest areas on the internet, that there's still negativity that comes into it, and that everyone's going to experience that.
That was an asshole move, dude. You gave no real reason as to what you want us to do directly.
Yeah, no, he was just lashing out.
Yeah, he's lashing out, which is cool, man. It happens, but at the end of the day, like, look, we're more than happy to make you happy. Just tell us what it takes to make you happy. Give us a real clear directive of what you want, and we'll give it to you. So at the end of the day, you know, everyone's an asshole sometimes. Dude, that was your moment. You're kind of a dick. But listen, we all get it. So tell us what it is, and you know, we'll transform you from the dick on the channel to the hero that gave up.
That'd be super cool.
You know,
I'd love that.
Hey, listen, we'll bring you on the podcast.
Ty Lopez battling his.
Yeah, true.
Look at this, man. I'm cool with this. I don't know if you guys are. I'll bring you on the podcast, dude. I'll debate with you all day, and I'll show you everything you need to see. And we'll make you, you know, we'll give you that spotlight if you want, and we'll make it.
That was like you on the limo tour, not about hard debating, but people ask you questions and you're like, here's the answer. That's a great question. Here's the answer.
It's a real answer. Just give people what's up. You know what people need to be concerned about giving answers like that are the people that are just bullshit.
Yeah.
And I can vouch right now on my family that these guys aren't those guys. You guys are real honest, and fuck man, I'll give you that platform if you want.
And the best part on the limo tour, Matt and I were commenting on the way home. People ask you questions, you said, that's a great question, and you answered it like right there. You didn't skirt around it, you just answered it, and people were hanging off your every word on the limo tour.
Thanks, man, I appreciate it. I mean, for me, when that happened, it was just one of those things where I've done it so many times. Yeah. It just, even when we've seen some of that content, sometimes I fucking forget. Yeah. You know, because I've done it, and some things that it's just repetitive to me. I don't think that's a real question I would have had, like, on property one, that I just don't have anymore. So bring it out there, ask me questions, and I'll tell you the real answer. If
How many vacancies do you have?
Zero. Zero vacancies. But at the end of the day, like, one of the things I talk about that's super important, I think it's critical, is, look, man, I got a lot of knowledge about codes and contracting, right, and everything else, but at the end of the day, man, I'm not, you know, even though I went to law, I'm not a fucking lawyer, and I certainly am not, you know what I mean, a guy who signs off on permits, and every city's different. And I tell this in the videos, and I say this in the comments. I say, look, man, the best way to find out if something's is permittable is contact the guy that's going to sign off on that permit, and he'll tell you what it is and what isn't. And when I come across a question that I don't have the answer to, I'll tell you where to get that answer, and I'll tell you what I believe the answer is, but to double check. Man, that's the whole point of the game, right? Just give people real fucking value. That's what we've been doing.
100% agree. So, what are some other pieces of advice or common things? Yeah.
Live on
we're live.
Guys, we got questions? We have questions right now? People are asking some stuff?
Lee the fan said it was him who chirped Matt.
It wasn't me.
Oh, and give shout out to Lee. Is that cool?
Yeah, that was my bit.
So, man, this is something I talked about on the first one, where, like, one of the reasons why I never went on any of these podcasts or shows or really tried to be public about anything I was doing is I was really turned off by how many people were out there doing it for the money, right? That it wasn't real value, and I didn't want to be even associated with those people. And shout out to Lee, man. He made me go to these events, which, just to give you an idea, there was an event with Matt Cassidy from Windsor, great people as well. Shout out to them. that had, you know, they were going to a lunch meeting with Ray, and he wanted me to go to his dinner or whatever. And I was like, man, fuck that, I'm not going to this. At the end of the day, like, I don't want to be that guy that preaches to everybody, so I didn't go. And Lee dragged me out there. And it just, that relationship developed into me going to Wind City, Club Investment, meaning you, and then developed into this. So, guys, at the end of the day, none of this is happening without Lee. So,
yeah,
shout out to that
yeah.
guy.
And I mentioned it before, I think everyone that's gotten value from one of the videos with John
Owes
owes
Lee
Lee
a
a
beer.
drink.
Owe
So
him a beer,
next
man.
time you see Lee, you definitely need to buy him around. Because, yeah, I really appreciate it too, Lee. It's been the last.
He's such
I
a
guess-
selfless guy. Eh?
Yeah,
He just
absolutely.
gives, man. He gives. And like, he doesn't, he just like, man, I know, you know, Lee doesn't really have a stake in like what I do, right? Or like these profits or whatever. He really doesn't financially. And he fucking goes out and just promote because he thinks it's value. And he's really looking out for people. A lot like you guys, man.
Yeah,
So just gives
absolutely.
out value, right? Just like when we did our first video, man, it was just like, Matt was like, I think I want to show people what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think there's value here. And he threw out that content for free, which was wild, right? And like convinced me to give you guys some secrets, and he just did it to give back, and you know, in that sense, he's a lot like that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there was something you were kind of mentioning there that I wanted to dig into deeper, John, is just saying yes to those opportunities, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that me and Jeff try and spend a lot of our time, a lot of our resources on, is trying to say yes to opportunities. And I think just saying yes more will do more people better than saying no.
Yeah, and let's be real, people. Like a lot of times when you say yes, you'll lose.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose. But you know what? Let's say you lose 7 times. That 8th time will be the one that just like triples everything.
So yeah, your yes to the Wind City event to me would be like, oh, I'm gonna go to this, and who knows who I'll meet.
Dude, it was
Bing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, man. That
that's
was
how.
wild.
Like I have
That
to
was
speak.
wild.
I have to speak in an event next
How do you know
week.
you're speaking? Just so super,
Yeah,
I want super clear. You were a surprise guest speaker. I had no idea.
Did
And
you
it
come
was
out of a
like,
cake?
it was just
Not
like we're gonna have
time.
this guy because you guys give a lot of value to OREC, and you know I think there's a ton of value for people. So I think that's what Matt and Castle were trying to do, and bring somebody on that could really help.
Are you coming to OREC?
That's not a
2019.
fucking question. And I was like, of course I'm gonna be there, and I'm paying it for a ticket, 100%. And at the end of the day,
Good, because you're speaking.
That's a first for us.
But yeah, I mean, we had that event, and man, even like other guys, and Matt's even giving shout out to this guy Jacob. Shout out, man.
Yeah.
He gave a lot of good value to people about mortgages and hacks that people don't really think about. And we went there. I had no idea you were speaking. I just went, man, and like, this is real. This is real. That speech I gave, man. That was 100% off the cuff, man. There was no prep. There was no written words. Matter
That's
of fact,
the best way.
my boy Sonny, he was like, "Hey, we're gonna practice. You know, you need to come up with a pitch. Make sure you know I'm public. Like, I'm good at this." And he's got good presentation
Yeah.
skills. That's what he does.
That's what he
right?
does now.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, I blew off every like practice. I'm like, I'm just gonna tell people what I do, and it's gonna come off like it comes off,
Yeah.
man.
And the public will appreciate that way more.
Yeah, man. And if it's not a good strategy, then it's not a good strategy. I'm just gonna tell people what I'm doing, and that's what gonna happen, and that's what resonated with Matt, because his whole story on that Wind City, I don't even think content's been released, but it was
No, it hasn't.
basically just him telling you your 2 stories of like what happened,
Yeah.
how you guys got there, podcast number 1, and like it was so much value that I was like, man, this guy's not pitching anybody, he's just being super real. I'm like, I gotta say what's up. I want to talk to him, and that's kind of how it happened.
Yeah.
And then Matt was like, just cool about it. Just listened to my story and was like, I like your model, whatever. If you're ever in London, hit me up. And he was, you know, just cordial about it. And then it happened that I was like, you know what, man, I want to meet Jeff, and I want to meet Matt, and I want to talk to him. And I was like, I'm coming.
Yeah, you've come
Yeah.
down 2, 3, 4 times now or something.
Super, and
Yeah.
you guys are so like. It was one of those things where like, I had someone tell me, I'm not gonna say who, where if I came out with London, I'd be hosted for free, like almost like it was a motherfucking privilege to come to London. You guys were literally like, you guys are super busy, man. Like, I'm sure it is. And like these guys, I was like, I'm coming out of London. They're like, perfect, man. What time you want to be here? I'm like, what time works for you? And they're like, whenever, we'll make it work. And I got there. They brought me out to a restaurant, showed me the areas. Were super cordial, nice, and just made me feel like I was just hanging out with 2 regular guys, and not, and like from my understanding. I talked to Lee and a couple other people. I know Ray slept on your couch
Yeah.
back in the day. And I've heard stories of like just Ray's a guy was helping who before all this came down to hang out with you and you like
Yeah.
just crash on your couch. Right? Where like these guys have literally just reached out and been like, hey man, we'll just be cool about it, and you just treat people like they're your buds. And
Yeah.
you guys are super successful. There's no need for you. A lot of people wouldn't do that. Right? I literally had a guy we just talked about who said he would host me for free. Right? Like as if it was a privilege, and you guys never do that. You just make me feel like hey, you're just one of my buddies coming through.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And at the same time, you're the exact same way. Like, we've essentially been seeing each other once a week now since Twin Cities, so it's been really awesome getting to know you as well. But I think the bigger takeaway here is that we're all, you know, cognizant of who we're letting into our network and our inner circle. You know, we're not willing to sell out our reputation, our street cred in order to just make that quick buck. We're really in this for the long game. And I think it's really important that people understand that, because it's really easy to get caught up with those YouTube videos of those like 21-year-olds or 18-year-olds, or like there's some that are 16 now that post those $1 million Shopify, or them out in front of their Lambo or their whatever their fancy whip is. I'm not a car guy.
They're beautiful hotels
Right.
with water view.
Yeah, but it's important to understand that, you know, we want to be having fun throughout the entire process, and so part of that to us is surrounding ourselves with people that we actually genuinely enjoy their company, right? Like, and people that we can trust. And so I think it's just really important. Like, I'm a firm believer that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and so I've become extremely careful about who I've let influence me these days, because like I notice it from literally, if I can go back and spend a weekend with family, my perspective slowly starts shifting and starts being framed slightly differently, just because they have very different perspectives and risk profiles and experiences. And yeah, I think
makes a huge difference.
It really does. Like, when honestly, surrounding yourself with winners is probably one of the easiest ways to win. Like, it's just so much fun. Like, they like to see you win, and they want to see you win, and they're going to help you win, versus losers who are constantly going to find the risks and try and pull you down to their level.
Mine like a whole. You're gonna say something.
Well, it's just like Matt and I have talked saying this year, and other gurus like Gary Vaynerchuk saying, find your new friends. If your 5 friends aren't good right now, it's time to upgrade. Guess what? Las Vegas would be a great area to upgrade.
Listen, so not to take away from you guys, I totally agree. But man, like, this is real. For me, I've had friends who I just elevate people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my goal is to just bring people up. It's so easy. Like, if I can, like, and not in an egotistic way, but like telling you, like, if I had a friend that, this is a real sample. I'm not gonna use my friend, like, his name as an example, but there's a guy who I knew, his best friend growing up, like, or not growing up, but in university and stuff, and fucking phenomenal guy, had my back through everything. And then I got financially successful, and I wanted to do stuff, and we talked about this, and he couldn't do it, and because he had to work, or he had, you know, responsibilities, which good on him. Like, he was more focused on that, but we got to the point where I was like, listen, man, I can afford to like alleviate you of that worry, and it just hurt everything, because we would go away and I would pay for the trip, and then he would feel guilty about, you know, letting me pay for the trip, shit like that. And then it got to the point where, like, then the trip got injured, like, it wasn't the same, because then, it was, you know, it was just like, imagine you guys out there, if someone just paid your way, even though it might not be anything to them, to you, it's just the meaning, right? And, like, even though it's not the intent, that's how it feels. And I got to the point where, like, no word of a lie, just was like, fuck it, let's make him rich, right? Like, or, like, let's make him to a financial, not rich, like, in that point, but, like, financial dependency, so, like, let's just make it that point where this isn't a fucking problem, where I can just hang out with you, man, and this isn't gonna be a problem, and that's kind of what I did.
Well, and even to build upon that further, we've also seen you do very similar, in my opinion, with Raymond, and it's been amazing to watch him blossom. Right? You essentially took this young kid who was hungry to find success, and just didn't know where to put that energy.
Yeah, and shout out to him. He did a lot of work too, man. Like, a lot of stuff I did, I made him work for it, for sure. But he come out, he did a lot. Like, it's not just me. I don't want people to think that his success is based off me, because it's not. I want to give him credit.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, like, just there's a lot of people that are on your level of success. That's a lot easier to put the blinders on and focus on getting that you know, doubling whatever they already have rather than paying it forward. And
well, that's why I get along with you guys so well. Is I think we're all on that mindset.
Yeah.
We're not on that page. We're just trying to just have fun and do it. And if we want to bring someone along with us, we just want to make sure that they're able to do it. And that's what's so cool. It's just there's so many opportunities to make people into that. That's just showing them the way. Yeah. Right? And it's so much more rewarding for me, man. So much more rewarding to be like my friend now who can do whatever the hell he wants. It's so fucking rewarding.
Well, it's
just like sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. We can finally go like tomorrow. Like I'm not gonna. I don't want to give away who he is, but like at the end of the day, like me, him, and his fiance, we're going to fucking like this wouldn't have happened a year ago. Tomorrow is their day. We're going to Wonderland.
Oh, nice.
We're going to the Joe Rogan event.
Oh, right. Yeah. You're telling me.
And then we're going out and then we're going back, man. And like, you know, it's one of those things where now like he paid for like the hotel rooms and stuff, right, or whatever, and like a year ago, it would have been like a situation where it would have been tense because I would have wanted to pay. So because like, not that he doesn't make good money, but like I would have wanted to pay just to make sure that, you know, it's disposable for me, right? But now I know he does well financially, so I'm like, go ahead, pay. It's just so much better, right? Or like even us, like we're planning on going to a couple trips, like New York and stuff like that, to do podcasts. And like, man, like at the end of the day, I just. Like, I'm cool, but I don't feel bad. I know you guys don't feel, like, you know, just a cool feeling to be able to do these kinds of things where that's just not a problem.
Well, yeah, we're all on the same kind of vision, the same path. If you get back to, like, Matt talking about, like, the 5 people that he wants to hang around with, you might want to cut the fat from the people that will never see that vision.
You gotta get negative out.
The people that are, like, they have that vision, you can then grab them and push them to this, like, your buddy. That's amazing. And of course you want to do that, right? But if they're just going to be pulling you down, don't do that.
No,
don't travel. Man. Don't go to the Joe Rogan podcast.
If they're negative and they're just dragging you down, you don't want to cut ties, but you just want to stop. Don't allow that to affect your trajectory, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, you just got sometimes, man. Like one of the things I really love about what we're doing is a lot of like these mentorships and JV partnerships that we're doing for you guys out there that even partner with us. Maybe we'll have you on the podcast and we can talk about it. But like our whole purpose has been to give value before. Like, and I'm so on board. There's so many people that would have been like, hey, how can we make money right away? And like, guys, if you're partnering with us or you're JVing with us, you're essentially not. You never pay us until we've given you value. It's always we give first and then we ask. It's always been like that for me, and it's so refreshing, man, to be around 2 guys that like have that same mentality where it's like you guys are just down to do that, right? Like I remember when we were talking about a lot of it, Matt and both Jeff were like, I don't really care about, you know, when you know what we get paid or when we get paid or anything like that. It's just like I'm just down with helping, and that's so goddamn refreshing. So goddamn refreshing.
Yeah, I don't think it's anywhere. So
it's nowhere. It's nowhere. Name one place, right? Like, you know, so.
And I know one other benefit that I personally have experienced from it, and I'm sure you have too, John, or you will if you haven't already, is that, you know, to build up my financial independence, it involved a lot of investment in real estate, and so there comes a point when it starts to, like, I don't know, it's always still fun to buy another property, but it's not the same as your first one or your second one, and so for myself to see that experience again through the eyes of Adam Martin essentially is so much fun to watch him go through that roller coaster of the ups and downs and be able to just kind of re-experience that excitement. Yeah. But like it's just so much fun because like for me to buy another property is more of an incremental gain rather than like a difference in like for a lot of the people that haven't bought a property or just on the cusp of buying their first property, it's a difference in kind rather than a difference in degree.
I agree. You know, that's something I talk about a lot when I talk to people, and maybe you guys have heard me say that. The difference between making $200,000 and $2 million a year is the same. Your lifestyle changes, like how you live your life, the things you do is exactly the same. The difference is, you know, how many income streams do you have? That's the only difference. Like the cars you drive, the home you live in, the life you live, typically is the same no matter how extravagant you are. Between that, whatever.
Yeah.
So you're totally right. It becomes, and people ask that. Like I actually had a lot of people that partner with us. They're like, John, why are you doing this? Why don't you just buy more? Because at this point, it doesn't make a goddamn difference. My lifestyle is not going to change. It's the same regardless of what happens. The difference is though, it's far more rewarding to see your life change go from like doing something and then you getting to that point where there is no difference. That's so much more. That's far more rewarding now to me than the increment, like the small difference in what my lifestyle is going to change. It's not going to make a difference. Whether I own 40 or 50 properties, you know, my lifestyle is going to necessarily be the same. It's not going to change. But what 10 properties might do to someone like Ray is like fucking life changing, and that is amazing to see that. To be like, yo, Ray, you know, what's going on? You want to go to Vegas? And he's like, yeah, no problem. Right? And like, that to me is like so rewarding. And I don't know if you guys are down, but I think we might have someone that might be joining us. That's on his way. Super stoked for you guys to meet him.
Cool.
But I think if he comes, but I think that's awesome. I think you're totally right. There's that incremental difference. Like Adam, he's such a good guy. Right?
Yeah.
People don't realize that. Like you guys don't see him behind the scenes. You see him on the cameras, but this guy is a hard-working guy, and he did people. I mean, he just JV'd with someone I think that we know, or that whatever. Yeah. He just JV'd with someone and had an opportunity, and his instant response, this is how you got to JV with this guy. He was literally like, what can I do for you? Right? Like, man, Adam is in a position, he's not like super financially like well off, but he was essentially doing like, I just want to do for you, and then are the 5 people who started something. He's with Peter and Jeff.
He spent a lot of time with us.
His 5 circle between his girlfriend, you, him, and Peter, and your other guys. You're the circle, and then that is a testament to me. Is like, all right, so.
Well, and wait till you get this guy on the podcast. He borrowed $60 to come to London to jump on a limo tour.
Fucking wild.
And then he's like buying a property within 365 from borrowing $60.
Yeah, so you guys are cool. He's gonna come. Yeah, so guys, you guys are about in for a treat. That story is wild. He'll be here soon. I don't know if he'll make it to podcast number 2. How long?
So we're about 47 minutes deep.
Oh, good. You'll definitely make it in time for 2. But yeah, I'm so pumped. I'm so excited about it. Let's just change some lives out here. You know what I mean?
It's one of the most rewarding things that you can do, right? So.
Yeah, actually, just to give some clarification for everyone, man, one of the first things I talked to Matt about, man, like I said, I don't know if you guys know me, I swear a lot, sorry about that, but I'm a no bullshit kind of guy. I just tell you guys how it is and my experiences, and if there was a bad one, I would tell you. I could tell you tons. I just put out a bunch on blast without putting any names. I just tell you the real, raw deal of what happens. And one of the first things Matt said to me, which is so fucking crazy. When we were talking about this podcast before, this was in the mix, and we were talking to you guys, and not just Matt, Jeff too, both brought this up, is that I always have people looking out to either JV or partner with or do investments with me, and I kind of keep it to a minimum, but it hasn't been nothing crazy because I don't publicize it. And if you guys have seen me like hanging out, I don't wear suits, man. Like, this is what I wear. Right?
Shit, I just return his Vegas present.
Yeah, so I'm super casual. It's really tough to know because, there's very few indications I would tell you that where I'm at in life. But anyway, moving on, one of the things is I don't showcase that a lot, so I don't get as much attention. But once we obviously wanted the video, we just saw the video. We had a ton of response, right? And to me that was really new. And I messaged Matt and I said, listen, dude, if this is an indication of what you guys get on a daily basis, I'm like, it's hard because if you want, and for those of you who haven't responded right away, it's not that I don't want to or that we don't want to. It's just such a huge volume. There's only so much time in a day for me to do that. And I have so many other things to do, and I know that's how it was for you guys. It's only exponential for you. So I brought it up to Matt and I said, man, if this is any indication of what you guys are going through, fuck me. Like, you guys got your plate full. And Matt said, he's like, I'll never forget this. He was like, one of the most gratifying thing is like the returns you get down the road. And like first thing went to mind, I'm like, oh fuck, here's a guy who cares about like the financial returns. I'm like, great, where's this going? But then Matt was like, yeah, I had a person message me that they said they watched my video a year ago. And now they had made their first property and they were financially independent. And that was one of the best returns I've ever gotten. I'm like, fuck me, man. This guy gives zero shits about the financial returns. He's talking about like.
And this week, people bought in British Columbia that from watching the channels, And even from the limo tour, they bought
in Windsor.
In Windsor.
Who was
It
it?
was Alexandra and Michael.
Yeah,
They were pumped Monday morning.
Super happy for you guys. By the
Just
way.
being like, we bought a property, like thank you so much, like it was all because of you guys, like so. That's you can't put a dollar value on that. So.
That's what I'm talking about. And that
absolutely.
shows invaluable. It's funny that like when you guys like right now it's easy to say that stuff because we're on a podcast, we're public, but like
Sure.
I'll share this fucking man. If people don't believe the genuinity of it, I'll share that message. I'll share the message with everybody. That's a real message. That's a real message that happened where Matt's in just instant response was like, yeah, man, people like said how they change your life and that's the best return I've gotten. And I'm like, wow, that's says a lot.
But to me, it all ties back to, definitely Gary Vee's been very instrumental in changing my perspective on a lot of things. And so like he always talks about who's coming to your funeral, right? Who's going to show up?
That's
and
fucking a good one.
recently,
That's a good one, man.
Right?
We talked about that the other night. We're like, man, like you want to build your life on like who's gonna show up to your funeral.
yeah.
That's it. Who's gonna show up, man?
Well, and there's been a meme that seems to be gaining a lot of popularity right now on the internet, and it's that the idea that your job posting would get posted faster than your obituary if you were to die. And so I think it's really important. Like you need to build a life, you need to build a presence outside of what your means of making money is, right? And for us, I think for us three, we've been lucky enough to be able to essentially align them. We've aligned both of those goals together. And so, the idea of essentially the way I kind of view it is I put on my life preserver first, or my oxygen mask first, got to financial independence, got to the level where I knew I could survive like this
without a parachute.
indefinitely. But,
You had the instructions.
Yeah.
On the way down.
And so,
That's what he knows.
I think that's what I view it as. And then now we get to put the oxygen mask on other people.
Yeah, I think
That's
for
so
us,
cool.
like the best thing we can pass forward is like everyone's human. And at the end of the day, the billionaire, like Warren Buffett, was human. He was just like us every day, right? He started out as a high school kid that was probably smoking in the back, right? I'm not that I know that, but I'm just saying, like, everyone's human, and everyone is born really equal, except for a few, and they just kind of propel themselves to a position where they can help. So I think, man, put yourself in a position where, like, if you had incredible financial success, what would guide you to invest in someone or partner with someone? Is it really their ability or is it really more their person? And that, to me, man, like to tie it all back in, why am I going to Vegas is like, listen, I'm not necessarily looking for people to finance me at all, right?
Yeah,
but I'm
you don't
looking,
need to.
Yeah, I'm looking to finance people. And tell you this right now, I would take someone who has nothing, but I trust is a good person in what they're going to do with their funds once they have it, over someone that has billions in a heartbeat, no questions about it. That's what my first partner did. Business getting funded, everything. But this guy took a risk on me based on what he saw as a person, and I swear to God, today, like if he called me tomorrow and was like bankrupt, I would sell everything I have and give him everything I have in a heartbeat, just because that's what I owe him. Right?
Yeah.
And that's at the end of the day.
No, I know it was something that really hit home when we first met. You were talking about him, and essentially, like, I won't get into specifics, but you essentially mentioned how a lot of your future projects, you find a way to get him involved.
100%.
And like, I just found that to be really telling of your character. That a lot of people, would focus on how, especially when they were kind of starting with nothing, about how there would have been a lot of I's in that sentence rather than we's or like mentioning other people, and like it was constantly you were making it a team effort rather than like focusing on I came up from nothing and I did this and I built this and I took the risks and I worked the 2 jobs.
I
and
appreciate that, man. But
Yeah.
I appreciate that recognition for sure, man. But like it's like me, right? Like, this is
For
how we are, all 3 of us, man. From the military, like the shit you've been through, man, that's crazy. From you standing up for someone that really was a stranger, right? like literally, like it's all the same kind of mentality. It's always been like.
Well, Matt has a sign off on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Which is.
So I'm sure lots of my viewers already know it, but making money is a team sport. There's more than enough money in this world for us to all make it, but if you're not saving it, I mean, like, what's the point?
Money's fun.
Team sport, like it's like you want to involve that guy, right, on the team, and it's gonna just.
You want the team to win.
You want the team to win. What's the point of you winning?
There's no.
You want to hang out by yourself?
Right. Exactly, and that was essentially one of the things that you discussed about wanting
to
get your
friend. Yeah, when we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that. Because you know what, man? Listen, I gotta give these guys. They did their due diligence. They researched me quite a bit, and then when we were going on the when first Matt and Adam came down. I think you were there, Jeff, but they came down to kind of scope me out, I guess. I had some tough questions, man. He was like, what's the purpose? Why do you do what you do? And I think I gave you a really no bullshit kind of answer. I was just like, dude, I'm out here just trying to make sure that everyone can afford the party. In a really blunt and instrumental way. I just wanted to tell you guys that basically. It's not about the financial gain, but it's about when I'm having fun, I want to make sure everyone has the opportunity to have fun with me. Whether that is, having the comfort of living in a home that you want to live in, or whether it's going on the trips you want to go on. I just like the idea that everyone can just do those things, and money is not, there's no limit to it. And it's not based on time, it's not based on anything, it's really based on your risk. I'm so adamant about this. You guys want to be successful? Big, huge brass steel balls. That's what you need. Just do stuff and then understand that they're happening. So where's it gonna happen?
And we constantly look at that too. Guess what? If I fail at OREC, or if we fail at Vegas, oh no, I go back to selling some homes.
Or even let's
go back to the military.
Let's take it one degree further. Let's say we're all on a position where we can't work and we're on ODSP.
Yeah. You're alive.
I will be on ODSP all day if I need to come in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the reward right there, and having friends like that. Man, when I was in university, 100%, I was broke. As a joke, man. I had no money. I was in debt. I definitely didn't have fun even talking about that for my parents. And one of the things that happened to me, and this is why I'm so tight with this guy that's coming right now, is that I remember when I started dating my wife, she's from a wealthy family, and I had to go pick her up on a date. I didn't have a fucking car. Didn't have a car, guys. This is real, right? Didn't have a car, and I'm like, yo, there's no way this is gonna fly. So I hit up Sonny, and I'm like, I hit up my buddy, and I'm like, listen, man, I'm taking Cynthia out, and I need your car. And he's like, no problem, man. Do you mean pick you up, drop off the keys? And I'm like, what kind of guy does a university? It's like, fucking bring a car. I'm like, dude. Then fast forward 2 years down the road, the secret's out. I don't have a car, right? I had my truck and it broke down, and I didn't really have a car. And literally, my in-laws were like, yo, you gotta get a fucking car. It's ridiculous, right? And I have no money, and I'm like, fuck. So I hit up Sonny. I'm like, look, man, you gotta buy a car. I've been waiting for down payment, what do I do? And he's like, how much, man? I'm like, what do you mean how much? And he's like, how much? I'm like, down payment? He's like, I'm like, $2,000. He's like, okay. Dude, we're kids. Instantaneously, and I know for a fact, man, that was pretty much all. That's what he had. Gave it to me, and then I got the car, things were going okay. Couldn't afford it. You guys know the story, right? It was broke. Couldn't afford it. Shit, definitely not the payment back. I barely afford the payments. And he never fucking bugged me. Not once for repayment. How fucking wild is that, man?
That's rare.
And I was like,
at that age,
yeah, I was like, all right, cool, man. This is my boy for life. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that goes such a long way.
Absolutely.
So I just look for people that have those kind of traits, and that's why I surround myself with. And I'd rather be broke, dead broke, living, barely making rent, and have people like that surrounded by me, where they just care about the well-being of another person, than to have any money. I would trade millions. I would trade everything I have to have people like that. If it was you can have people that are just self-absorbed about being financial, and there's some names that comes to mind, but people in our network that are like that, you can have them in your group.
Look how much you learned. You learned from him, and he learned from you, from $2,000, right? And sometimes that can be $500, that can be $10. You can really learn a lot from a person.
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
Yeah, and personally, I lend money out all the time, and it tells me something about the person here and there. Like,
yeah, it's a big difference, right? And I can tell by the way.
And then people are like, "Oh, did you get that on a contract?"
Yeah.
Like, did Sonny put that on a contract?
No way, man.
He did not.
I could have just been like, fuck yeah, I'm not paying.
It's now way more than the contract with you, right? Now,
Yeah,
friends
but,
for
like,
life.
Fuck.
Business
I just
partners
told him
for
what I
life.
did, right? Like I didn't really give him money. I just told him what I did and helped him out the best I could. But at the end of the day, you're totally right. It doesn't. There was definitely like.
But there's some viewers that would be like, "Oh
All
my
I'm
god,
speaking
how would
of
you
is
not?
it-
You lend someone $2,000, you wouldn't write that on a piece of paper?"
Yeah.
Well,
Because you know what he said
what's
to me?
that piece
Because
of
I
paper?
brought it up.
You're the
Man.
lawyer.
I brought it up, man. I brought it up, and his response was literally one of those things where he was like, "Man, I never expect to get that back, man. Like, that was like when I gave it to you. It was to me. I was never getting it back."
He was investing in you.
And it was more of those things where like, I really believe, and this man, like from the heart, this is something I really believe. If we're in a partnership where I'm always looking to give you the best benefit, and you have the same mentality where it's a selfless, where I'm just trying to give you the most gains, and I completely don't care about myself, and you reciprocate that, think about the perpetualness. Like think logically what that happens.
Yeah.
I'm just doing everything for you, doing everything for me. It becomes a game of like, I'm gonna make you a winner. And I'm gonna make you a bigger winner, right? And then you're like, no, I'm gonna make you a bigger winner. And all of a sudden you turn around and you look back and like, look at what you've achieved.
You both are
Right.
crazy.
But not by like selfishness, but by going like, I just wanna make you awesome.
Yeah.
So the more awesome I make you, and then you're trying to make me more awesome, it's a competition of who can make who awesome the most. And then next thing you know, you're fucking doing great, right? And only surround yourself with those people, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what we got, man. Like, I look at our crew right now, the people that we're hanging out with, like, you know, 5 to 6 people that's gotten that on, and our crew, and like, God, it's ridiculous. I don't think anyone in this group is selfish. Not one person. And can't wait to see how that means for everyone who even works with us, right?
Yeah. I think it's going to result in some real magic. I'm really excited by it.
Hell yeah. Keep following and follow what we're doing. Like, there's so many things that, I mean, I think we're probably going to do we're going to do something else after this too, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, like, things we've like just accomplished like so far, the group and what we've given back to people, nothing's been from a selfish perspective. It's always been from a selfless perspective.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps this train going.
100% agree.
So this is live, right?
Yep. We're live on
We got any
YouTube.
Live on
questions?
YouTube.
Anyone online asking questions? Let's answer some questions right now. Let's get you guys involved in this thing.
Sure.
Well,
So
Nish
YouTube
was commenting.
Jump,
Oh yeah? Oh
Yeah.
shit.
jump in the comment section there.
By the way,
YouTube.
Nish
Smash
is
that like button.
oh sorry. So the guys who haven't heard from the podcast, Nish is the JV partner on the Russell property we have. What did Nish say?
Oh, that he was going to Vegas, and he's good job. See you there, and
Oh, I thought you was like.
hey guys, keep up the great work. You guys are the best. Question wise, Leela Fan is killing it in the comments.
Of course.
Classically.
Constantly just engaging and making sure everyone's involved.
Video is fuzzy, so it's American internet. So,
Is it American?
no, Detroit might be.
Yes.
Showing up.
It's American internet. Do you have any questions? Anybody's got questions for us? Man, post some questions right now, real quick.
Alex Lupa wonders why he should come to Vegas. He didn't write that in theory, but he's talking to Lee here, so.
Yeah, so Alex, let me tell you why you should come to Vegas, man, in the most non-fucking bullshit way ever. You should come to Vegas because if I'm going to invest a lot of money and time with you, I need to know who you are, man. I need to have drinks like we're doing right now. I need to talk to you, find out what kind of dude you are, in order for me to make sense out of working with you. Think about it this way, dude. If we were going out and you were going to do some crazy stuff and you wanted me as your PIC, don't you think you'd want to know not just what my resume looks like, but what kind of guy I am? And that's kind of what Vegas is all about. Finding out who these people are. There's going to be some great deals. And that's not what this is about. It's not, even if there's not great deals right now, at the end of the day, if you come to Vegas.
It goes beyond Vegas.
Yeah, we got a guy right now. I don't have his permission to put his name out there, but he's a guy who doesn't have a ton of capital, probably can't do a joint venture right now. Not in a position to do it, but I give you my word, I'll give his initials. IP. IP, man, you know who you are. I'm going to be making sure that you get your first property this year and you're going to do good. just because I like you as a person, man. We got to sat down on the limo tour and got to know you, and I think you're coming to Vegas too.
He's not on the fence.
You should come to Vegas so we can get to know you better. But that's the value right there. Is I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna go out of my way to make sure this guy gets some success because I like who you are so far, and that's what Vegas does for you, man. You're gonna get some people that are gonna be super interested. That are gonna maybe pick you over somebody else just based on who you are. So come out, get to know us, and not just from that perspective, but if you're about to get into business with anybody, you probably want to know who we are.
Yeah.
Right? There's no better way to find out the kind of guy that I am. I think in these freaking podcasts that we've done, the three of us, we were pretty tight before. I think we're pretty tight now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know stuff about Jeff.
Yeah.
Matt had a good idea of your story, but Jeff is a little bit more of a closed book, and I say, well, maybe just a little bit, right? Where he keeps everything closer to his heart, just tight a little bit. And I found out a lot more about Jeff through these past couple hours than ever. And I'm ride or die with these guys, man.
Yeah, and so I think just building upon what John was saying, it really does come down to, building those relationships. And it takes a long time to build a relationship with someone that's busy, right? With someone that's got a lot on the go. So to be able to spend kind of a weekend together and like a full weekend, right? Like essentially,
you just understand how
you
busy
get 365 days of the year, right? To spend 2 of those with the same people in the same hotel and the same experience, it essentially just creates like immediate bonding compared to what you would do if you were, say, IRL networking and you were going to like these 2-hour meetups, right? And what you maybe get 10 minutes tops of someone's undivided attention, where Vegas you can really cultivate a real relationship.
Yeah, I think for me, who I decide to work with is 10% resume, 90% personality, man, like 100%. Like that's at this point where I'm at, right? And I think a lot of people are like that. I think like the guy who even gave me shots, I was sure 90% personality.
Right. There's no way he didn't like you. Like people just don't want to do business with people they don't like.
Dude, I was in debt. I was broke as a joke, man. I had no experiences, you shouldn't be giving me money. At that point in my life, you shouldn't be giving money as like on paper, bad idea.
Yeah.
There's 100 people that are like thousands of people that are in a better position, and he went off and did that personality, man. And that's like the model that I go off of. And what's the value in Vegas? I guarantee you that everyone in Vegas or anyone that you're going to be doing any kind of business with will be 90% person versus 10% resume. And at the end of the day, I don't care what your financial profile looks like. I care about what your personality profile looks like. And the best way for you to get that is for me to spend a weekend with you. And you're not going to get that in any other circumstance. Not because I don't want to. I'm just busy.
It's just
busy, man. I got obligations to do, right? And that's the value in Vegas, though. Any other questions?
I think that's a great answer.
Not really, mostly we.
I guess the problem was we weren't really engaging with YouTube, so
there's no over questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Just want to make sure that we're
addressing them for sure.
Yeah.
So otherwise, as far as like other
this one, we're
for this episode.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good.
Wrap it up.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode number 2 of Hold My Beer. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave us a written review on whatever platform you listen to this on, whether that was iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud. 5-star rating, written review. It means a lot to us. It's the only way people find us.
And if you want to come on the podcast, check out our website, holdmybeerpodcast.com. Those pictures are 100% accurate. That is who we are. Come by and leave us a comment, let us know why you should be on the podcast, and we'd love to move.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we want to turn this podcast into an interview podcast. The first couple we just want to have with us so that you guys can kind of get to know us before we start to get to know our guests. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this. Until next time, remember, just go do something. We'll hold you a beer for you. Thanks, guys.
I love it.
Bye. Bye. Yeah, I actually really like it.
Yeah. Let's do, the sun's gonna come, so let's do a third one, if you guys are cool with it.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll talk about crazy, his story's fucking wild.
Yeah.
So the only thing is, I think I'm going to be out of memory cards by then, just because we've recorded about
well, it's more for the audio.
3 hours.
And we're still live on YouTube. Right?
Yes. Yeah, and like we can in theory record it on my cell phone still, so like we can still have video.
Shift over to mine as well. Or...
Yeah, whatever works for you guys.
Yeah.
Derek Zillich, I'm still on the fence with Vegas as well.
Dude, are we still live?
Yeah.
Dude, did you hear what I just said? It's like, whether you're on the fence for Vegas or not. Let me try to put it in your perspective, man.
He's thinking, I put 1,500 in, what do I get?
You're getting, okay, are you a good guy? Do you think you're someone that I want to work with? Do you think you're a good person, dude? If you think that's the case, then bet on yourself. That $1,500 is on yourself. That's a bet. If you're questioning that investment in Vegas, you're questioning yourself, man. Because at the end of the day, if you believe in the type of person you are and that I'm gonna like you and or you are a good person, I guarantee you, doesn't matter what you look like, what you do, what your background is, if you're a good dude, I'm gonna invest with you. And that's what Vegas is all about. That $1,500 is a bet on you. For you to pitch yourself to, I don't know, man, everyone that's gonna be there, like everybody. Lee's coming, man. Lee, I'm gonna put you on blast right now. I know Lee's got about $250,000 just chilling. He's like he's just investing in good people. His whole pitch is if you're a good person, he's investing.
There's some people that are like, oh, maybe next time. Guess
maybe
what?
Next time.
It might not be next time, or it might be triple the price, or whatever.
Dude,
and guess what? I'll remember the first time people, not the next time people.
Not even just that, but man, why are you questioning yourself? I just want you to come to Vegas, hang out, man. I want to listen. We're gonna have drinks like we're doing right now. We're gonna have. You guys have no idea.
Do you have anything big?
Oh man, I got big fucking opportunities. But let's not even talk about that. That's not even it's not even about the opportunities that are gonna be out there. I promise you, I guarantee you, on my life, on my unborn kids, there's gonna be huge opportunities for you. But it's not about that. It's about the fact that I'm gonna spend a weekend having drinks like I'm having with Jeff right now. And just this night alone, Jeff, be 100% honest. Outside of filming, how much have we got to know each other just from tonight?
I know your backstory 100% now.
Right, likewise. And that makes me, just totally...
You just probably know way more about me. You want to invest with me more.
Yeah, man.
Even though,
dude, I'm ride or die for these guys.
We started this podcast, you probably didn't even know who I was.
Yeah, we started this podcast. I was like, Jeff's a really good guy, but I don't know that deep about him. And he opened up,
That was episode 1. You haven't. It'll be out soon.
Yeah, like a flower about his story and what he's done. And even offline, we had some really good conversations where I just got to know him as a person. Where I'm like, listen, man, dude, I'm in. Whatever it is, as a person, I got your back. And that's the kind of person. That's what Vegas is all about. You want all of us, whether we're wealthy or not. Whether we have money or ideas or nothing.
Just imagine the guy that's screwing, just getting the $1,500 together, and he shows up. What are you gonna say to that guy when you see him? When the guy that just barely made it to Vegas.
Guys, this is real.
You're gonna take him under your little wing.
There's a guy right now. IP, you come to Vegas, man. I'm gonna make sure you get a property or two within 2018. Probably 20.
Serious?
Yeah, no, 2018, bro. Watch my 2018. I'll fucking invest in it myself because I just want to know who you are, and so far I think you're a great guy.
Well,
as
I
long as
love that. Vegas is your litmus test. If you show up.
Show up, man. Show up. Let me see what's up. Let me see what kind of person you are, man.
You don't have to be good at pitching anything. You don't have to be good at networking. You're just gonna hang out.
Get to know, man. That's the opportunity that you got out there, and listen. You can tell me to come to Windsor and meet me, whatever. Dude, I'm too busy. I'm spending a weekend right now. I'm dedicating to meeting people. Come to this weekend. Show me that you're serious about, finding people, whatever. And I couldn't be more real about this.
Does John only work with locals in Ontario?
Not at all, man. Not at all. Listen, I only work with people I like. That's
yeah.
People I like and people I know. I can't break it down any more seriously. I don't care about how much money you have, what your opportunity is, or what your financial situation is. I've got 2 JVs right now and 2 partners that we're dealing with right now who probably financially are a little tight or strapped to be able to do what we want to do, but we're going to make it work, man, because I like who they are. And I got 2 people.
Is that networking?
I got one person testify. Am I lying about this? I got a person who told me he had millions, I'm sure he does, and wanted to invest.
Yeah.
But I told you about his approach and his response as a person wasn't a good, in my opinion, I didn't get a good vibe from him. Didn't like who they were. Mm-hmm. Shut that down, man. We're not working with them. Yeah. Right? And I'm not, at least. And at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's all about, man. I work with people I like, man. Come to Vegas, let me get to know you. Pitch yourself, whether you have money or you don't, whether you have knowledge or you don't, those are all things that can change, man. I can make you money, I can give you knowledge. I don't really give a flying F about where you are in life, because I know that's changeable. That's a variable that's changeable. Your personality, that's a much tougher variable to change, and that's what I care about.
Mm-hmm.
Come, let me get to know you. And I'm being super clear. Did you send me the invoice for my ticket? You did, I think, right?
For Vegas?
Yeah, we're gonna post that. There's no, I'm not.
He's absolutely paid the ticket.
There's no financial gain on my end, man. I just want to meet people, and I think that the best way to meet people is a weekend away in Vegas in a hotel that's nothing but people that are like-minded.
Yeah.
How else am I gonna get to know you? You're gonna spend some time by the pool, by the bar. We're just gonna drink, have a good time, and you're probably gonna get wasted. I'm gonna be real, and you're probably gonna tell me some shit.
John, we have a Sunday morning agenda.
Yeah, and you're
Stop poisoning our guests.
And you're probably gonna tell me shit that you probably wouldn't tell me on a resume, and that's the shit I want to know.
Yeah.
So. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about, man. So yeah, I don't do just locals. I do people that invest. Anybody else that are coming back or questions?
Alex Lupo, what's the date? So Lee's answering here,
So November 10th and 11th, in case you guys are curious.
Lee answered, No, I'm pumped that Lee's coming, and
I think he's great.
He's been awesome.
Guys, man, that guy is a fucking savage. He has.
Sonny's.
We got the guest is here. You guys are gonna catch him on this one. He's here in episode 3, but he's gonna probably answer a couple of questions while you guys are here. But no, he's fucking great, man. That guy is, dude. He is all about investing in people that are just good people, man. Here he is, guys. He's here.
What's going on?
Hey, guys.
The question mark. Some of you guys caught the name. Come on in, man.
Come on in.
Should I come in?
Yeah.
Just
You can
fucking walk
wherever.
in, sit down.
Yeah.
Alright.
Just don't hit our lights over.
Sunny, Sadly Valley Sunny.
What's up?
Sunny. Say what up,
Can you
everybody.
just-
We're saying
over
we're
here?
just feeling
There.
Wherever you want, yeah.
Casting couch over here.
Yeah, by the way, we got a lot of questions. Just so you guys know, we're in a hotel right now. When these guys walked in, there was some question marks. They're walking in with cameras and lights. Every staff was filming one video they're shooting in a hotel room. Just podcast.
So you got
Oh,
cameras
there's
here.
cameras. Alright.
Hey, we're just the phone right now?
Okay.
Yeah, the others
Cameras
are
died.
like we
We're still
filled
on.
the memory
Alright,
card.
alright.
Anybody else that any got a couple more questions?
So Lisa, Sunny.
5 minutes. 5 more minutes.
Oh, what was it going on to? When's everybody flying to Vegas?
I think I'm going.
We're going early because we're the staff, but depending on everybody else. So you're driving.
Yeah, fuck guys, I'm terrified.
You're
This is
running.
real.
What? You're actually driving?
I'm fucking. You know I'm terrified of flying, dude. Yeah, I am driving for sure. You know what, man? I can't fly. So if I know that, I'm fucked. Versus, you know, I'm at some.
Is this a scam? Ooh.
Who asked that?
Ooh.
Jenad super hot.
Okay, cool. That's a really random question. Is this a scam? Absolutely not, man. I mean, what do you mean by scam?
Yeah.
Fuck.
How many people have you made money?
I fucked so many. What are you net cash flowing right now, son?
Right now?
Yeah.
About 8,000 a month.
Perfect. Yeah, not a scam. So, yeah.
Thank you, random guy that showed up to the hotel room.
It's really not a scam, guys. I think we're just being honest with you, man. And like, look, if you follow the videos,
No, dude, they're Canadians.
That's actually
That's
the
good.
funniest response.
That was from Alex.
At the end of the
Alec.
day, if you watch the content, whoever asked that question, go through all the videos, man. We tell you all the negatives that can happen, right? Like the refinance, issues with refinance are, and like the hurdles you're gonna face. Not a scam, man. I'm just telling you what we're doing.
Well, and the one thing that I viewed through, there's over 400 videos on my YouTube channel, so like
Jesus Christ.
you can dive deep.
Oh my God!
You can dive deep into us. Like we've been doing this for over 2 years now, so you can like watch us grow, watch our approach grow.
Better yet, what's his name?
Sorry.
Scam.
Dude, he thinks this might be a
Scam.
scam.
Janad. Super hot.
Tonight, okay. If we are butchering your name, I apologize.
Yeah.
But listen, at the end of the
that's
day,
hilarious.
you tell me what you want from me or from the guys to show you that this is like legit transparency. I'm cool with it.
Oh.
Man. You want to see my portfolio? I'll show you the portfolio. You want to see my cash flows? You want to see my bank account? I'll show you whatever you gotta show you.
Binge watch Matt McKeever. We used to say not Netflix and chill, but McKeever and chill.
That's what it is.
Shout out to Mike Hill who coined the term.
Netflix. What's up, man?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, we-
When should attendees check into your to Vegas in our opinions? So you want to be there?
early as possible.
Yes, 5 o'clock the latest on the Saturday.
Yeah,
like
noon.
for start. Check-ins like the 3 or the 4 normal hotel thing. We're gonna scam and show up at noon, and we'll be up by the pool hanging out.
Yeah, I think
can
I'll
check your
probably
bag.
show up a little bit early, and if you guys want to go, we'll hit the strip together, man. Listen, man, my whole point, guys, I'm not even gonna hide it from you. I'm getting you wasted to get to know who you are. That's my whole purpose. If I want to know who you are, so I want to have fun with you. It's not a business meeting. It's like, who is this fucking person? That's what this whole trip's
Here you
about.
go. I'm just always scared because most anything, including helping people to make money, is a scam.
That's a great. You know what? That's a good point.
Very good point.
Most of it is. Most of it is. Dude, I can't even argue that. Like I said, the whole reason why I never even got into the social media shit or like whatever is because I didn't.
But I have a hunch this is legit. There you go, Janad.
Yeah, there we
Janad,
go.
where are you from? Just let us know in the comments here. Just it'll come. But
Yeah. So look, at the end of the day, man.
it's a little too late.
our whole motto is like let us make you feel like whatever makes you at ease or puts you
Ottawa.
at ease.
Okay.
Perfect.
So
Ottawa.
the capital.
Yeah. Whatever you guys need.
You know where you can find us, man. We're down in Windsor, London, Kitchener's,
We're
just
fucking
Toronto.
everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Yeah. Just whatever you need to make us feel like it is, or to prove to you it is. Just let me know, man. I'll show you. It's really there's no secrets, man. At the end of the day, ask and we will answer truthfully. So if you
And, but like we're available. You can literally come to our cities and find us. And
yeah,
talk
man, come to
us.
Windsor, just show up. You might be stuck on a construction site, and I might be fielding like 20 calls, but dude, you can hang out with those 20 calls.
Probably
and just-
Ottawa to
like,
Windsor flights can't even be that bad, right? Like just
Drive.
drive.
That's
That's like 9 hours.
I have no idea what a flight looks like until you drive this.
Then, okay, Leela fan says, Sonny, what's your favorite color?
Oh, my favorite color. Now the important questions are coming up.
I don't know. He's indecisive, he doesn't know.
That's a hard question.
I don't want to commit to a color.
It's being recorded. Oh.
Just,
I'm gonna say green. Green.
yeah,
Yeah.
it probably is. You probably wear that shit a lot.
I do.
Well, Stephen Hickey.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, I've never met these dudes, but everything they're doing is legit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Steven's
nice.
been tuning in to the Cash Flow Go
Yeah.
show since the beginning.
You
so-
might not, maybe Matt's told you, Matt and I did the Cash Flow to Go show every Friday from like, I don't know, the summer till the next.
Yeah, it was from like September 1st until like maybe March.
Yeah, it was every Friday commitment. Live,
Every Friday
5:30, Friday night,
Just
at my
so,
office, giving out info. Data.
It's fucking, guys, you've been
Every
watching the
time.
fucking channel. It's
And there's a lot of people, in this chat that have seen it before. So.
No, at the end of the day, so Sonny's gonna field some questions right now, but tune into podcast number 3 because that's what we're gonna do after
Let's
this.
do a podcast.
And he's gonna basically, it's gonna be a story. He's the guest.
You
So.
want a cocktail in here?
So,
Yes, listen, man, listen. The whole point is getting people wasted, so we find out the real people. So we can smash on this podcast.
Alright,
But
let's do it.
at the end of the day, guys, if you guys
Can
have any
Americans
questions,
buy Canadian real estate?
yes. The question is as far as getting financing.
That's America over there.
Yeah.
This is Canada.
Actually, you know what? For those of you from America, there's American real estate we invest in that are really good that this model applies to the U.S. So that's probably a better option for you. As far as investing in Canada, you certainly can. The only thing is getting financing from financial banks. Actually, Sonny, you worked at couple banks, right?
Yeah.
PwC?
Yeah.
We'll touch on podcast number 3. It's a little harder for you to get financing in Canada if you're from a different country. It's doable. But again, if you're from the States and you want to invest with the group, we invest in the States. So there's some really good freaking models out there that'll make it work. But step 1, if you're in the States, you could probably drive to Vegas. That's what I'm doing. So you should drive. And come see us and we'll talk and get to know who you are. Cool.
all right.
Is that it? That's it?
Yep.
Cool.
See you guys.